Welcome back, everybody. I'm Tony Nettleman, the president of Nettleman Land Consultants, and I would like to share with you 3 of my favorite resources when allocating riparian boundaries in Florida. Now, I've got hundreds of different cases, textbooks, other kinds of resources that I use from the 1700s treatise all the way to the latest case law. But there are 3 of them that I want to share with you that I really enjoy, that are great starting points for any riparian allocation dispute. Number 1, I read this article last year in the Florida Bar Journal called Murky Waters. Murky Waters. It's basic. It's a little generic sometimes, like it brushes over the fine details of some issues. But if you're looking for a primer, a place to start on Florida riparian boundaries, you have got to read Murky Waters. The person who wrote it, from what I understand, is really not a full-time practicing riparian attorney, but I mean, the case law cited, I learned a few things. So if you've got, 30 minutes to start learning, pick up Murky Waters. I will put a link in the description of this video. It's a fun article. It's kind of humorous sometimes. It's a good primer. Read it. So that's number 1. Number 2, Hayes v. Bowman. This is the granddaddy of all Florida case law in terms of riparian rights. And if I said Murky Waters was a little humorous, Hayes is downright kind of funny. It's very poetic. It reminds me of the really old school court cases where the judge is taking a bigger picture look at life, at issues, at disputes. And it has some very, a little poetry in there, talking about the number of methods to allocate riparian rights is greater than numbers on the compass rose. Angles on the compass rose. How prophetic is that? I love it. And Hayes talks about types of riparian rights, methods of riparian allocation, previous Florida riparian case law. It's a great case. Hayes v. Bowman. It's good. The last thing is not a Florida reference. It's a textbook that was written by a man named George Cole, and it's called Water Boundaries. Now, the Water Boundaries book is generic. It's not Florida specific, but it is a great introduction on not only issues of riparian allocation, but riparian rights, water use law, different types of water bodies. It's not a thick book. You can read it in a couple of days, but it's a great resource and it gives good citations for other resources to look into. And if you're looking for a resource outside of Florida or something to use in addition to your Florida case law and treatises, check out Water Boundaries by George Cole. It's a great read. So summing up, Murky Waters, Florida Bar Journal, Hayes v. Bowman, Florida Supreme Court case, and George Cole's Water Boundaries. There are so many resources to keep researching. I spent 4 years during my PhD researching water boundary sources. I never found them all. So it's a battle. But begin your library now, and before you know it, you'll have your own resources. There's a bunch out there. Hope you find them all. Check out those 3. You will not regret it.